What's going on, crypto cousins? This is your Bitcoin baby daddy here with another episode. If you're new here, go ahead, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Because I make these videos, we're not going to say that line because y'all get it by now. So today, I got something special for you guys. You see it in the title, you see it in the clickbaity everything. I actually have the Octopus from Twitter. Yes, the Octopus, and we're going to be talking about Pocket Network today. So thank you, Octopus, the man, the myth, the legend, or you're a woman. You know, we respect all types of people in this place. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you're killing me because it's POKTopus, but the way you say it, I think I'm gonna get some attention on Twitter about that.
The Octopus.
I'm not sure what website you're visiting, but you know.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it because it sounds. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the whole theme, the POKTopus, 8 arms, big brain, big fan of decentralization. You know, that's really what it's about. And obviously I'm heavily focused on Pocket Network, but you know, I got opinions about a lot of things in the blockchain space. So you get a little bit about all of that. Check out the website at POKTopus.com.
I wanted to make sure to get you guys on the Octopus's Twitter page. 8-legged big brain, you know, giga brain. I'm gonna say giga brain degens, but I don't want to say that. It's a little too early for that. It's a little too, but the Octopus army, you got dude right.
Octopus army.
Octopus.
I'm gonna break you of that habit. It's Octopus like octopus, not pocket puss like.
You know what I? No, we're not gonna do this. But so tell me a little bit more about yourself and how did you get into the crypto industry?
Sure. You know, I actually. At some point in time, I'll have a full press release, I guess, on all of it. But I mean, the fact is, at 17 years old, I was homeless, and at 19 years old, I was a 4-time convicted felon. But in my mid-20s, I discovered technology, figured out I had a knack for it, started getting into that, became, you know, a little established in the space. I've been in technology for over 20 years now, I guess probably coming up on 25. I was into like the concepts of crypto around 2012, 2013, but I really didn't get in. And when I started mining, it was Dogecoin. So, you know, like I missed the opportunity to get in on some Bitcoin early, but I was just like, oh, that's cool. You know, I remember installing the Bitcoin miner for the first time and turning it on and the fan spun up in my machine. I'm like, oh, I ain't doing that. But then
I ain't doing that. No, but especially if you had like a wife and child and my God.
No, this is gonna be running all day long. It's noisy. My computer ain't even that good, you know. But like when Dogecoin came out, I threw that on there and started mining that, and that was fun, you know. And so I didn't even really pay much attention to it. I was learning about it, but I can't really say I knew a whole lot about it. And I think it was 2015 when I really started paying attention because the whole market was blowing up at that point. ETH was on the scene and, you know, Bitcoin was making a lot of noise. There'd been some big up and down movements. And, you know, I started playing with it all a little bit and I started getting more into the community around it. I started digging into the people online and such. And in 2016, maybe somewhere right around there, I sat down for dinner one night with the Entrepreneur Social Club, and I met 2 people, Seth Maddox, who's my partner today, and Michael O'Rourke, who was the CEO of Pocket, except there wasn't a Pocket to be a CEO of at that point. It was all in progress and ideas and a white paper. And so over the next year or so, we became friends. We actually had a contract blockchain development agency called Nonce Plus. And when the crypto winter took hold in 2018, all of that died entirely. So, you know, Michael asked me if I'd come on and be an advisor for Pocket Network. And I spent the next couple of years helping set up some formative structure, helping with marketing guidance, and just, you know, doing some fill-in work as the team focused on the product and started to grow. And then when Patrick was hired, they didn't need me for the marketing stuff. And as the team continued to grow, they didn't really need me for much of anything. To be perfectly honest, I was so busy with some of my own stuff that I kind of stopped paying attention for a little while. And then all of a sudden in 2019, they're like, oh, by the way, we're launching mainnet. And here's all the stuff going on. And it was like my jaw dropped, you know. So over the course of the year following that, I had to get up to speed on, okay, so what is it doing? And how is it working? And what's going on with it? And I'm still learning to this day. But at this point, I've sort of accidentally became a community leader.
Yeah. You not accidentally. No, you're it. It's done. You are what is it? You just said it before the call. You're controlling your own destiny. It's too late now. The destiny has already chosen you. You are the Octopus, right?
I am the POKTopus.
I was about to say it. I was like, no, do it. Don't do it. So I'm glad that you're able to tell your story, and of course, I told my story after before we started the call. So now I guess we can go into more of Pocket Network and what it is. Pocket Network. So from my understanding right now, you guys are built on Cosmos, but you guys are for developers. So people don't understand when developers try to develop on blockchains, they have to go through a service, and that service is called like Inferior. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's probably the most popular one. And before I dig into this, just to make it clear, I'm a node runner and I'm a DAO governor, but I am not a member of the Pocket Network team. So, understand that everything I say, you want to verify that with the Pocket Network team. Yeah. Go do your own research. The documentation is fantastic. Get out there and read it. And if I make a mistake on this show, it's an honest mistake, not intentional. Get into the technical stuff yourself. But yeah, it's, the easiest explanation, I think, for folks who are at least somewhat savvy when it comes to like web structure or web development is Pocket Network is like the Cloudflare for blockchain, right? If you are building out a little blockchain and you've got 10 validator nodes and yay, you can achieve consensus now, right? But as soon as you open up to the world at large and try to let them do lookups against your chain, your little servers aren't going to be able to stand up to it. Well, if one of your servers is connected to a node on the Pocket Network, you get instant access to just about 20,000 active nodes right now that are servicing your chain, that are providing relays across that. So you can literally handle hundreds of millions of relays a day and hundreds of millions of lookups a day against your chain by distributing it across this decentralized network.
So now, I believe you guys have a lot of change that you guys are servicing at the moment. I know you guys have like 15K plus nodes. Just reading the website, a billion plus
that website isn't even keeping up. I think we broke
plus networks. Go ahead.
I think we broke 20,000 nodes last night. In fact, I'll pull up the live chart right here and take a fresh look. And man, I got too many tabs open.
Of course you did. You're incredible. What are you talking about?
I need more monitors. I'm dying right now.
Oh, the thing is, like, it's more monitors, but it's not even like it's charts of like tokens. It's charts of like analytics, and it's like, oh my god, when does it stop? When does it stop?
Not even play. Well, that and like trying to keep track of all the social media stuff that's been banging. There are 20,316 active nodes on the network right now.
Ooh, so a lot of people. So this is where it comes from the developer end. So developers would have to come. What they do is they come through Pocket, and instead of going through a service like Inferior or any of the other services, they would use your guys' service to build on different blockchains, whether it's build on Ethereum or build on Harmony or build on Solana. And so that's where they would come in and they would stake their Pocket to be able to do those things. And it's cheaper than all the other alternatives out there. And not only that, but you guys provide the service of, hey, we have nodes, because a lot of people don't understand. It's like, it's the nodes that keep these networks alive. Like Bitcoin has nodes, Ethereum has nodes. They're going to proof of stake. So the nodes are going to be done differently, but you guys are also a proof of stake blockchain as well.
We are. Yep.
And so people don't understand that this is what keeps these blockchains alive, to be allowed to be able to do these kinds of things, to be able to use DeFi, to be able to do all that. And so the reason why this one's so more important is because it's a more decentralized version of all the other products out there.
Yeah, I would say it's highly decentralized. There's not any network that is even vaguely as decentralized as Pocket is. We've got just about any major cloud provider you've got Pocket nodes on it. A bunch of the bare metal hosted providers, like big names like OVH, you've got a ton of bare metal Pocket nodes hosted on OVH. We've got individual servers that are like co-located in smaller data centers around the world. I know personally, between me and one of my buddies, we've got about 100 nodes worth of server capacity spread out between Los Angeles and Atlanta, and in like small local data centers. And then you've got folks who are like running this at home on their big home rig setup, or have Raspberry Pi farms that they're running on. Like, you know, Pocket Network is almost like a pirate armada, right? Where everybody's got their own boats and they're just bringing it all in and coming up, you know?
So it's almost like everyone, and I hate to say it this way, but I grew up in a certain era of the internet, and so it's almost like everybody's trying to run the pirate-based server for everyone. You're seeding right. You're seeding files to making sure that everybody can file share. That's kind of like the thought process of running nodes.
I mean, it really is. Part of the thing that clicked for me that made it make so much sense was I've done so much peer-to-peer stuff in the past, and this is sort of a peer-to-peer type network, except that it has, you know, quality of service controls built on top of it, because you've got to maintain good network throughput, and your relays can't be slow, you know?
And so right now we're just talking about how data runs through all these different blockchains when you're saying the relays and the servers. So then let's talk about more about being a Pocket Network node runner, because that's what you said. You're a Pocket Network node runner right as of right now. The minimum amount of Pocket you need to be a node runner is 15K. Now I believe the documentation said that it's better to have 15 and 100, just, you know, for slashing purposes.
Yeah, you want to have a buffer on top of that when you stake, because of the fact that you've got transaction fees. There's like 0.01 Pocket per transaction. So like every time Pocket moves through the network, you're going to have these little tiny pieces in there. You want to have some buffer over the top of it. And of course, as you're earning Pocket back on serving up relays, that's going to build your buffer up. So you're going to be good on that front. But yeah, it's the protocol minimum to be staked is 15K. I think most folks are targeting about 15,300, 15,350 or so.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. Tell us about the different options to be able to run a node.
First of all, the most complex is build and run it yourself. That's, you know, if you are like senior sysadmin, BFOH, you know, or BOFH, if you are like a command line god, then you can just do that. And there are some great scripts out there that help with that. The Ben Van setup script is the one that we used, with like some monitoring tools like Rocket. But like, it's all command line. There is nothing pretty about it at all. The next step from there is using a software called Node Pilot, which runs on the Node Launcher engine. And that's kind of a GUI that you can install that helps make some of that easier, but it's also a little bit more managed. You're not going to be able to like add chains in real time and stuff. That has to be built into software support. And then up from there, you've got getting a third-party node runner provider, which there are a bunch of those on our approved list, and they will run the nodes for you for like a management fee monthly. Those guys have been like high demand, so there's a little bit of a waiting list out there, and they have minimums typically. Like, they won't take orders for like less than 5 nodes for new customers or something like that. Each one's a little bit different. And then the sort of final like easy mode for people who just like want to play around with what it's like to be staked is Pocket Pool, which is a no minimum fractional staking pool. You can throw 50 Pocket in it and just be like part of a collective node farm.
Okay, and I believe that would be the more centralized one, but it does help, you know, even the little farmer, needs a little help, you know, staking to the gods. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so then you talked about all the different ways you can stake your Pocket. Now we can talk a little bit more about wrapped Pocket. So what is wrapped Pocket? If you're able to talk a little bit more about that.
Sure. And you know, with this product not being out, I haven't had any hands-on experience yet, so I'm just going to be relating my understanding of all the things that I've read that they made available on their website. Wrapped Pocket is an Ethereum wrapped representative of the native Pocket token, 1-to-1. And it's being they're targeting sometime later this month or in February to launch that in a liquidity balancer pool through the Copper Launch fair price platform. And the idea with WPocket is that you'll be able to use that in an ERC20 environment to stake in the regen farms to earn native pocket for the dApps that you support. So if you've got, a dApp that y'all are using and you've been like, hey, use Pocket RPCs, and they're like, we can't afford it. Well, you could go get WPocket and stake in the regen farms and generate relays for the dApp that you're supporting.
Okay. And so now do you believe that's something that the dApps would probably want to push on their users, like, hey, if you want us to be a little more decentralized, then they'd probably provide yield for us to stake wrap Pocket. I mean, this is just a little speculation, and you can't confirm on that, but that's what I would assume these dApps would do is, hey, stake our rack Pocket and we'll give you yield in our X token when you stake your wrap Pocket with us.
Yeah, I mean, however they incentivize their users to do that. I mean, I would hope that the biggest incentive is look at this crazy cool service that's critically needed that we're providing, and like help us out here and be part of it. And, then maybe you make some along the way, who knows, but if you look at the history of Pocket use, like you go on the tools that are out there right now and look at the actual chain traffic that's coming through the network, I think it's a really clear picture of how dApps can be using the Pocket network and why they would want to be. Harmony, for instance, has had a ton of traffic come through because they're wildly popular. But the more traffic you get, the more congestion you get on your network, and you start getting RPC slowdown. Right now, Pocket is serving up like around 200 million Harmony relays a day. That helps that network significantly. So, if the cost of scaling is incentivize your dApp users to stake WPocket for you and get you a little more decentralized throughput, then, I mean, that makes sense as a strategy to me.
Yeah. I've been in this crypto thing a while, huh?
Hot minute.
But no, I was just pulling up a tweet because you were talking about Harmony One, and I had it in the background as well. But so my next thing is how people can acquire some Pocket, because like I said, you guys are on the Cosmos network. The main net is on the Cosmos network.
So there's a post on the Pocket forum that has the full list of community vetted secondary markets. So I mean, essentially OTC, and there's been a few. We've already seen some scam OTCs and stuff pop up around.
Yeah. I've seen that.
Pocket, like I guess the Cumberland OTC scam was a big one that was going around. So it's just, when you're out there, it's so wild west that it can be like really scary for people. And that community vetted secondary list, every one of those folks has been part of the community for a while. They talk to the Pocket team. They've they've done the work to establish themselves with the community and build some trust there. So, those are the folks that I trust my USDC with.
And that's just something to show you guys. I'll have all the links to everything below. And it just has like all the vetted places you could probably go ahead and try to get some Pocket. So that way you can start staking. There we go. So I guess the main selling points for Pocket Network is that it's a decentralized infrastructure. And a lot of people don't understand, like, when we say infrastructure, we literally mean like when you're clicking on the MetaMask and you're looking at the RPCs, that's like the infrastructure, how these things actually work. Pocket Network is I would call that, some people would call it like blockchain insurance. Because it's the simplest way. Like, to be honest, it's one of the simplest ways for the average Joe to understand. It's like blockchain insurance. Your blockchain goes down, we'll always be there for you,
It's funny because I think a lot of the folks who have started using Pocket regularly, that's exactly the scenario that they came in, right? They started running into congestion. They started running into situations where their core node network couldn't handle the RPC demand. And so they look at Pocket as a backup. But one of the things, I mean, I'm a big evangelist for Web3. And I'm not talking about Web3 as like some VC buzzword or anything else. I'm talking about truly decentralized, unstoppable apps with 100% uptime. That's the Web3 vision, right? And so to do that, you've got to build across an entire Web3 stack. You can't have some AWS as part of your stack and expect to stay up when AWS went down 3 times in a week and a half back in December, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't mad about it because we saw Pocket Network humming, right? Mad relays came through when all these other folks' services went offline.
No wonder the
But
hype.
the thing is, yeah, exactly. And so don't, build in Pocket from the beginning. That's what I'm telling people. If you're going to go out there and build a new decentralized application, especially all you, financial wallet app builders and relay desks, whatever else, like build your stack decentralized from the beginning. Use a compute solution like maybe Akash. Use a decentralized file store solution like Storage or IPFS, right?
Okay.
And then when it comes to your distribution, use Pocket. And if you're building like that from the beginning, your app never goes down. You're the one that stays live when everybody else is offline.
And I think that's you actually hit a good point that a lot of people don't like to hit. Unstoppable. That's the key word that you use there. Because as much as a lot of this DeFi stuff that we're using can get shut down. As much as we were like, oh, it's decentralized, yada, yada, yada. Well, there's always some form of centralization where this app can get shut down some way, form, or another. And what you'd want to do is you want to have an application that's built to last all the time. Right. No point of failure, or at least maybe 1 or 2, 3 or 4 or 5 points that can't fail. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that concept of it and being able to just have 100% uptime.
The thing that killed me, like I think when it all really made sense and clicked in my head, it was back in, I guess, 2018 or something, maybe even mid 2019. I read this statistic that 40% of all blockchain nodes worldwide were on AWS.
Damn.
We're talking half the blockchain could shut down if Bezos wakes up one morning and is like, this crypto shit's a little too risky. And it ain't going to hurt him.
It won't.
It's not 40% of AWS's business, but it's 40% of all blockchain. And so that, like, to me, that suddenly turned the light on. I'm like, decentralization has to be the thing. It has to be. And it's not even just about don't use major cloud providers. Sure, use major cloud providers. Use DigitalOcean. Use everybody. Spread it out. That's the point. If you are building entirely in a single architecture fashion, you're creating a fail point for your app. And when blockchain as a whole could have been destroyed by Amazon having a bad morning and deciding to flick a switch off, that was a high risk point for something that's supposed to be unstoppable. Oh, nobody could take down Ethereum. Amazon could.
Amazon could. Oh, people don't like. And next thing you know, they're talking about I was talking to one of the CFOs, and he was saying aren't you afraid that one day the money just won't appear in your wallet? Like, no, of course not. And then I start thinking about it. How would that even happen? And then I went down the rabbit hole. I'm like, oh crap, this could happen. He was right.
Yeah.
The money's in the cloud and all, but sometimes the cloud can get turned off, and you have to be able to understand the value proposition of, hey, the cloud can get turned off. Well, not really, as long as you're over here. You know what I'm saying?
And when it comes down to it, from a pure architecture perspective, the not only do only about 1,000 nodes on the entire Pocket network have to stay up to sort of maintain active transactions, right? But there's a whole altruist network with a dedicated backup running behind it. So even if the main chain gets halted, the only thing that happens is it takes a while for transactions to catch up in the total blockchain ledger. The altruist chain behind it keeps feeding relays the entire time. And we've seen this twice now in the last year and a half that mainnet has been live, where the active chain transactions slowed for a while, and it took a couple of hours, I think, for a block to get produced. The dApps that were staked on Pocket never even saw it.
So I guess the main thing I want to ask you is, how can people get involved with Pocket Network right now?
I mean, the thing is, jump on their website, read it, and we always say DYOR, NFA, DBA, DA is my favorite third one to add into that mix. Don't be a dumbass. But It's really important that if you're going to get involved with Pocket, understand what it is. Don't FOMO into it, ape into it, none of that. Understand what it is, because this is not Shiba, right? This is not a flash flood kind of play. This is a utility coin with real customers. You need to understand the product that those customers are buying. So start by doing that. Then jump in the Discord, jump in the Telegram, get involved with the community. We have a real need for more DAO governors, for instance. Like, we talk about decentralization. I think there's only about 15, 20 of us DAO governors right now who've actually gone through the process to get a vote in the DAO. We need more people as part of that mix. Get in there, and you can become an active part of the community today. All of the best tools in the Pocket ecosystem outside of the core product are being built by community members.
So essentially what you're saying is you can get on the ground floor right now because you guys are looking for people. You guys need help.
100%. I mean, everybody's always saying it's early, it's early, it's early. Well, I mean, it's early, right? The modeling that Michael O'Rourke and his team are doing is what it looks like at trillions of relays a day, not hundreds of millions. When you think about how many financial transactions happen every day around the world, think about every Visa card, MasterCard swipe. Think about every PayPal, Stripe, Venmo, like Cash App, right? How much money goes into OnlyFans on a daily basis, right?
Yeah,
all of those transactions are relays that could start being moved to the Pocket network as more and more financial companies begin to shift into blockchain adoption as part of a distributed ledger technology. We are so ground floor at this point. Literally, Pocket is currently in version 0.7.x. It's not even to V1 yet. This is the world's largest public beta.
I like hearing. Yeah, I like the world's largest public beta. I love that because it's like people don't really understand the time horizon when they think of like cryptocurrency. It's always about now, get rich quick, and it's like, guys, that's not the point. The point is to dive into this industry and find a place where you can fit and build on top of that, so that way you can build generational wealth by being part of the community in some way, form, or another.
100%. And not even by, because there is a lot of generational wealth being built right now in crypto, and it's huge. We're talking like long multi-generations of people in poverty suddenly seeing a massive come up because somebody in that family was smart enough to sit down and go, this crypto thing's serious. I ought to start paying attention to this and do what you do, get into the community, start making content, right? Doing those things. My story is very similar to that. You'd be surprised. So, when it comes to this whole thing, it's not even about hitching your wagon to one coin. It's about understanding what the technology is, finding a community to where you fit in and there's a need, right? And learning it, learn, understand it completely. Because at some point in time, you're going to have this aha moment where you go, oh, you know what isn't being solved right now? And you're going to talk to a couple of your friends who've been working together in the DAO, and y'all going to get together and you're going to be like, Kenzie Coin, this is what we're doing to solve this problem. And you put together a real Web3 utility play that fits into the dApp development stack. We're talking about technology right now that's comparable to TCP/IP. It's not about a platform. We're talking about fundamental underlying infrastructure. On the OSI model, we're like down around the first couple layers or so for all y'all, heavy tech nerds out there.
Oh, I'm gonna have heavy tech nerds on this watching this? Good lord.
You will after I'm on here.
Oh yeah, I already know what's gonna happen after this. No.
So, that's the biggest opportunity in DAOs is not getting a stake in a single project's token. The biggest opportunity in DAOs is learning this technology enough to form your own project to solve a problem that you see out there that you know how to build a solution for.
All right, perfect. Well, then we're going to go ahead and end it right there. I want to say Octopus.
Yeah, you're right.
Thank you so much for coming on.
My whole Discord's gonna be laughing their asses off when they hear that. I'm gonna tell you right now.
Look. Hey, tell them I'm in Tampa too. So let's. Speaking of, and of course, I also want to say thank you to Block Spaces. I was at their Block Spaces event out here in Tampa when they had the Tampa Bitcoin meetup. I want to say shout out to Block Spaces, shout out to Gabriel, for putting me onto the project, even though I was already looking into it. They're like, oh no, like Blockspace is like, we're in, like, this is Web3 infrastructure. We're here. So I want to say
Blockspace has put crypto on the map in Tampa, so
Yeah,
they get big props from
yeah,
everybody.
yeah,
they are
they-
the OG organization around here.
I think they're the only organization. I don't think they've been doing it since 2018, because that's when I ran into them guys, and I was just like,
Earlier than that, I can tell you for sure.
yeah, because I remember they used to run miners in St. Pete,
Yep.
out of
and then
some
they
out
moved
of
over
some
to
building.
Spot and Gandy. They've been around for a hot minute. Gabe and Rosa have put the work in, and so they get all respect due.
So I want to make sure to shout them out on the video. But other than that, guys, I want to say thank you so much. Shout out to the POKT team, and I'll check you guys out next time. Take it easy. Peace.